What's up, guys? Nolan here, and today we need to adjust some expectations for what's coming next based off of what we know is planned and what we actually got with this most recent patch for Escape from Tarkov. The TLDR is that we are further back in development than I thought at the beginning of this patch, and it actually answers a lot of questions as to why we got what we got and why it took so long. This is all based off of the version of Unity that we are currently running. As we started with 19, we were supposed to upgrade to 20, and we didn't actually do that. Streets and Arena are the two big name planned additions to the game this year, where we've been told that Streets needs new tech in order to be running at a satisfactory pace, and that for at least some of that tech, we needed an upgrade to the Unity 20 engine from Unity 19, and we are still on that Unity 19 version of the engine. Now, initially, I assumed it was included in this patch because of how long it took, but apparently it's not. We, in fact, are still on Unity 19. So it looks like BSG were struggling to get the pieces together and get Unity 20 as well as whatever other new tech was required in the game for this patch in order to prepare for Streets. However, there's some other things that are going on, so we're going to discuss it because it's either that or this was planned, in which case you need to decide for yourself whether you tend to be negative or positive about these things, because BSG haven't given us any answers. Now, there's too many reasons to list why this could have happened, while clearly it all comes down to obviously BSG didn't feel comfortable releasing a patch with Unity 20 and whatever else tech they had planned. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because several months back it leaked on Reddit that BSG were testing Unity 20 on the ETS servers, so if that leak is to be believed, then there's some lines that we can draw as to the possibilities of what's to come next, but we'll leave that after the facts. The facts start with that we need Unity 20 at least to get Streets according to BSG, and it's not here yet. So depending on its stability, BSG will decide whether they release it before or with the actual Streets Part 1 release. So again, do we get a patch with the new tech and pretty much nothing else, or do we get that new tech with the initial release of Streets? Streets Part 1 was last said to be pushing for autumn of this year. If that is still the plan and BSG wants to get us testing the new tech, then we will need that patch before the Streets patch. If they internally tested it with Streets and are okay with it, then they'll just release it at the same time. Also, if that leak from before is true, then maybe it wasn't just internally as well. Maybe they took into account the ETS testing too. Those are the facts again according to BSG when they said they needed Unity 20 and more tech to get Streets where they want. Now there's some speculation that we can bring up based off of what's happened. The bad before the good here would be that BSG weren't able to get it working together, which isn't necessarily horrible. They just need more time to figure it out. However, what can happen is it can take much longer and it ends up pushing Streets back further once again for the fourth or fifth time at this point. We can speculate that it's possible there were bits and pieces of the tech that seemed ready but were causing some lasting issues for the patch, so the team kept asking for more time to fix it. Meanwhile, the months kept going on and they finally just said, screw it, we'll roll back a bit and make what you can work. That will explain why we were expecting more this patch but got less. And the reason I say that is because remember, they've been talking about this Lighthouse expansion with the trader since about this time last year, except it seems like problems just kept piling up and they kept pushing everything back. So again, maybe it got to the point where they said, screw it, ditch the new tech for this patch and we'll roll back to ship what we have so the wipe doesn't go for too long. Now that's the quote-unquote bad side of the speculation. The good side would be maybe they know they needed just a bit more time for sure and added that to the idea that they maybe wanted us to level up a bit before we got to Streets. If this is the first time that you're hearing this, the way that I think of it is they have us wipe right now, we get some time in, we get some levels up, we get some good gear, and then we are more prepared to handle what Streets has for us. Now, the worst case scenario of the good side of things is we get Streets pushed back all the way to the winter wipe and get patch 13 along with everything else for New Year's. I can see BSG getting to the point where they concede that they've done the best that they can with what they have and release part 1. Maybe they can find some more adjustments as they continue past that point, but again, it's possible that they hit the breaking point. This is keeping in mind that BSG were looking to have a release candidate by the end of this year, which obviously won't be hitting that at this rate, so they're going to hit a point where they start making compromises if they haven't already, where with the size of Streets, it seems the performance for mid to low end machines seems like the obvious first thing to buckle in this case, but we'll see. Now, in my mind, the absolute best case scenario here, which almost certainly wasn't the plan, but still would be cool to see, would be something like have the wipe, a few weeks later we get Lightkeeper, a few weeks later we get some kind of event, a few weeks later we get the Streets patch, then a few weeks later we get Arena, or at least the initial testing of Arena, which might be a bigger picture than we think. Any kind of timeline that even remotely looks like that would bring us through a full wipe and would make Tarkov the talk of the internet for the entire time, at least in our genre side of things, with that smooth rate of big updates while giving the team the time that they need. Now, given the history of the project, that's very much the fairy tale best case scenario here, but I do like to end on a positive note, and it's still very possible. In conclusion, either way, we are in fact further back than I expected in development at this point, because we again need that Unity engine upgrade and the tech that we can put with it for Streets, and that is not here yet. However, we don't know whether it will happen before or with the actual initial release of Streets, so maybe it is good to go and we see it with the initial Streets release in a couple months. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Now, no promises because these These things fall through all the time, but there could be some interesting news this week from BSG. I, as well as some other creators, are working on getting through to them on some stuff, but nothing concrete yet. As always, I will let you guys know more once I do. Quick plug here for the Pray for Wipe and Sons of Soon shirts and hoodies. Link below if you like what you see. Thank you guys for the support. But for more Tarkov news and content, follow me on Twitter or check out these playlists here. If you like this video, then you know the drill. Please subscribe. I really appreciate the people who do. If you're looking for people to play with, check out our Discord. Links below if you're interested. Otherwise, I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.